Okay, this is part 2 of the screencast about all the sentence bootcamp stuff. So we covered clause, the definition of clause, what an independent clause is, and what a dependent clause is. And so that was in the first one. This is the second one. Now we're on to conjunctions. So before we start, I want to just review the targets. By the end of this screencast, you should be able to do all of these things. So push pause right now and read through these and make sure you have your notes ready and that you are ready to answer all of these questions or be able to explain all of these things by the end of this podcast. So the first type of conjunction that we're going to talk about are the coordinating conjunctions. If you think about the definition of the word coordinating, it might help you remember what type of conjunction it is. So think about an outfit. Like when someone is coordinating an outfit, they're putting two separate articles of clothing or accessories together to form one outfit that all goes together. So in sentences, coordinating conjunctions say these two things go together. These two separate ideas belong in the same sentence. So what coordinating conjunctions do are they take two independent clauses and put them together. So two groups of words that can, with a subject and a verb, that could stand alone as a sentence if they wanted to. When you put them together with a coordinating conjunction, you are just saying these two things go together. The coordinating conjunctions are the fanboys. If you struggle with this sentence stuff, you should just memorize the fanboys because that will really help you remember which ones are the coordinating conjunctions. The other type of conjunction are subordinating conjunctions. So if you think about the word subordinating and what that means, a lot of you have heard the word insubordination. So insubordination is when somebody does not follow the rules or the authority, respect the authority of someone who is over them. So subordinate means you follow the rules, you respect authority, you kind of know the order of things and your place in it. So like a submarine is under the water, subordinating is like under the order of things. And so I don't know if that will help you remember that subordinating conjunctions go with dependent clauses. But when you're like under the rule or authority of someone, you're dependent. So if you remember subordinate, under somebody's authority, and that subordinating conjunctions and dependent clauses. So like all these little blue people are dependent on this red person, I guess is one way to think of it. I don't know. That helps me remember it. If it doesn't help you, that's completely fine. You can just memorize it. But subordinating conjunctions are the ones that go with dependent clauses. And subordinating says, I'm making one idea dependent on another to finish the thought. Swabbies are some examples of subordinating conjunctions, but really there are so many more. Unlike fanboys, where those are the coordinating conjunctions, there are so many different subordinating conjunctions that if you only memorize the swabbies, you might be in trouble. Like that's a good start, but it's not the complete list. So you can go to noreading.com for lots of fanboy and swabby practice. Coordinating conjunctions like the outfit, and, but, or, nor, for, yet. So subordinating conjunctions, here are just a few. Because and if tend to be the most popular ones, but here is a few subordinating conjunctions. Okay, let's look at how these conjunctions work in sentences. All of these sentences have two independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. So Susie eats cheese and bread. That's an independent clause, comma, and the dog eats steak. The dog eats steak is an independent clause. So you're putting these two clauses that could otherwise be their own sentence if they wanted to be, but you're saying they're related. You're going to coordinate them together with the fanboy or the coordinating conjunction. When that happens, you have to use the comma. And this comma right here is the whole reason we're doing this. The students don't know when to use this comma and when not to use this comma. So you use this comma when both sides of the conjunction could be their own sentence. If they cannot, then you don't have a comma here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Susie prefers ice cream, but she eats protein to build her muscles. Both sides of the coordinating conjunction could be a sentence if they wanted, so you have the comma. Seahawks are best in the NFL, and nobody should disagree. Nobody should disagree. That's a complete sentence. The Seahawks are the best in the NFL. That's a complete sentence. So you have conjunction, comma, same thing down here. They will win the Super Bowl, comma, and I will be so proud. After Monday Night Football, I'm not so sure that that's true anymore, but still a nice thought. Okay, so you got that. Now look at these. These are all four correct. So look at them and try to figure out why they don't have a comma in the middle in front of the and. So push pause if you need to, read through all of these and come up with an answer why they don't have the comma. Okay, here's why. Both sides of the conjunction cannot stand alone as a sentence. They have the best quarterback and home field advantage. Home field advantage is not a sentence. This and is just joining the two things that they have. It's joining the two objects of the sentence and not joining two different independent clauses. Okay, so there's no comma. Joe goes to the store and buys ice cream. Same deal. Like both sides of the and are not sentences. Buys ice cream is an incomplete thought. So no comma here. This is a compound verb. Joe is the subject, goes to the store, goes, and buys are two verbs. So this is a compound verb. This up here was compound object. Pizza is best topped with olives and pineapple. Same thing. Pineapple, not a sentence, no comma. She stayed up late and finished her homework. Another compound verb here. So this side of the conjunction, finished her homework, cannot be a complete thought, or is not a complete thought. It can't be a sentence, so no comma here. This mistake is why we're doing this. So you look back at this slide, you see all the commas, because both sides can be sentences. Over here, both sides not sentences, no comma. Okay, now you try it. Push pause, try it on your own, and then we'll go over it. Okay, I wish I had a little kitten, but my sister is allergic. You check both sides of the fanboy. Can they be sentences? Yes, they can. So this one has a comma. Jojo went to the store and forgot her list. No comma here because Jojo is the subject. Jojo went, Jojo forgot. No comma. Cheese pizza is Evelyn's favorite, but I like pasta. Can both sides of the but be a sentence? Yes, they can. So you do need the comma here. And she stayed up late and procrastinated like a pro. Procrastinated like a pro, not a sentence, so no comma here. Okay, this is just a review. Fanboys are coordinating conjunctions used for two independent clauses. Swabbies are subordinating conjunctions, makes one clause dependent on the other. When you put a swabby on a clause, you have just made it a dependent clause. All of this says the same thing, so you can pause me and read through it if you want. Okay, here in each sentence, try to find the subordinating conjunction. Push pause and do that. Okay, here they are. Jojo returned from the store because she forgot her list. This is the dependent clause right here, because she forgot her list. Subject, verb, because she forgot her list, not a complete thought. I wish I had a little kitten, even though my sister is allergic. Here's the subordinating conjunction, even though. If you ever have a hard time finding the subordinating conjunction, see if you can start the sentence with it. Can you say this? Even though my sister is allergic, comma, I wish I had a little kitten. Yes, you can say it that way, so you know that that is the subordinating conjunction right there. Because I'm allergic to dairy products, cheese pizza is banned from my family. Subordinating conjunction right here. When you start a sentence with a subordinating conjunction, you use a comma. When you have a subordinating conjunction in the middle of the sentence, you do not. This is opposite, or this is different from the fanboys, and I wish it wasn't, but that's the way it is. When I procrastinate, I lose sleep. When is the subordinating conjunction. So when I procrastinate becomes the dependent clause. I lose sleep is the independent clause or the main clause. Okay, that's it for this screencast. I suggest you go to Google Classroom, you find the quizzes that I've given you as homework so that you can practice some of this stuff before you forget it all. Go to No Red Ink, do fanboys, do swabbies, do independent clause, dependent clause until you are mastering this content.